This is my favorite, chocolate concha.
And it may become your favorite too, along with other traditional Hispanic items at Moore's newest grocery store, Supermercado Morelos, a shopping experience south of the border right here in Moore. And later,
it was awesome. You know, only thing we've ever really wanted to do was to give these kids, you know, a normal life, and there's so many of them that have problems that can't go to the regular movies.
But now they can. We'll show you the latest innovation from the Warren Theater, sensory sensitive showings. That's coming up a bit later in the show. Stay tuned. Jose Ibarra and his son, Jose Ibarra Jr., know a thing or two about cutting meats. The family owns an array of Hispanic grocery stores throughout Oklahoma and Texas, with their most recent just opening in Moore to rave reviews.
Yes, I'm very happy because I think people has been telling us a lot of good things about our store. They like it. They like our decoration of our setup, and I guess most of the important things that we are focusing to is the service.
Here you'll find most things you'd expect to see in a grocery store, but with a twist. Take the meat counter, for example.
Hi, welcome to our meat department. And he's doing right now the marinade. It's one of our signatures in the store. We sell a lot of marinade, meat already marinated, just ready for the grill. And he's working on it. He's putting the seasoning and to the meat.
In fact, you can find lots of pre-marinated meats, often with extra thin cuts for grilling.
This section is very important to us. This is the grill. This is ready for the grill, the marinade meats. And this is our famous inside skirt already marinated. This is really good for the grill. And this, we like do the thin cuts. And so just buy it and put it on the grill and that's it.
For those looking to go even more authentic, Morelos has traditional cuts you might not find elsewhere, like beef tongue and menudo, great for the Hispanic community or those looking to branch out a bit.
I would say don't be afraid to try it. It's good food, and they'll be really happy to find out that there's very, very tasteful, and it's nothing to be afraid of. It's nice and clean.
In fact, if you've never had beef tongue before, a great place to start might be the cafe at the front of the store. Here you can try many of the authentic Mexican dishes for lunch or dinner, along with favorites like burritos, tacos, and their famous tamales, personally overseen by Mrs. Ibarra, Jose's wife.
Tamales, #1, of course.
And we have some traditional dishes from Mexico like flautas. This is fried tacos with chicken or beef inside, and we put in cream, onions on top. And we are doing very good with the tamales. The tamales are really good, so people who has bought them has to come back and let us know that it was so good.
The cafe is almost like a Mexican food cafeteria where you choose items from the line, including a full salsa bar, and then pay at the end. The prices are super low for the large servings of homemade dishes served fresh daily.
So we start a couple of hours before we open the store to the public, and we do fresh cooking every day.
That's true in the bakery as well, where fresh Mexican-style pastries fill the racks.
This is my favorite. Chocolate concha. We call it concha for the for the shape of the figure. So this is really art, and we are very proud of this apartment. It's doing very well. So I just invite you to try one of these pieces.
The store has a full produce section and lots of grocery items, many imported from Mexico, along with unique treats like Mexican candies and piñatas. Now that you know the owners, you may be wondering about the name of the store. The Ibarra's last name is not Morelos.
Morelos is the name of one of our independence heroes in Mexico. The last years we used to live in Morelos State, which is named in honor of Morelos, which was a hero.
Much of this culture has been carried down in other ways as well. Here you see a traditional cake used to celebrate the three wise men during the holidays, soon to commemorate the grand opening of their store at their ribbon cutting. It's all part of a unique shopping experience at Supermercado Morelos. And if it all sounds a bit too exotic, don't worry. Jose Jr. or Sr., along with the rest of the family and staff, will be right here to walk you through it.
I will be happy to explain, and we'll be happy to give them a good service the best we can and try to explain things that they don't understand about our culture. I'll be very glad to help them.
For more about Supermercados Morelos, consult the following contact information.
I like the atmosphere that Moore tries to project of being a small town, not just gulped up by a large city. It tries to maintain its own identity, even though it's being encroached everywhere by large cities. And they really do like to have their own identity, and it's nice to be able to say, yeah, you know, I'm from Moore, I live in Moore. It's a nice community. My business is there, the people are nice, and that's makes it a nice place to live and to work. The three of us fell in love with being in this building, with the way it looked, and on each side of us it says Old Town Moore, and you just get that feel. And the business owners in this area are kind of, they kind of have that allegiance to each other because you're in that area.
For the kids in this class, nothing is taken for granted. Going to the park, playing with friends, doing everyday things isn't always easy or even possible. Autism and similar medical issues create real barriers for them, both physically and societally. Even something as common as going to the movies has been off limits to most of these kids. That is until a recent press conference by Bill Warren, founder of Warren Theaters.
When someone tells you that they have an 8-year-old daughter and they've never been able to go to a movie theater and see a movie before as a family, and now they can, that's pretty nice. Christmas came early.
Christmas came early in the form of sensory-sensitive showings at the Warren Theater, allowing kids with autism and other sensory-sensitive issues to enjoy a movie with their families.
We brought up the lights somewhat, and we lowered the sound somewhat because of the difference in their sensory perception versus what we all might have. Now, we adjusted it up and down during the show as kind of a, I don't want to use the word experiment, but in the same way you would adjust temperature. And part of the issue is, it can be too hot or too cold, so we think we've achieved the right levels.
The sensory-sensitive showings also eliminate the previews and other distractions at the beginning of a movie. It's all been done in conjunction with educators and more who specifically work with special needs kids.
We're talking about setting up an environment in which there's not too much going on at the same time, or at least it's a predictable environment. And what I mean by that is children with autism typically, they may respond differently to sensory stimuli than typically developing children or even children with other disabilities. So for instance, if it's too dark, they may scream out, be afraid, and they won't be able to roam around. They like to move, a lot of movement. And if it's too loud, a lot of them put their hands over their ears, things like that. We do know that they respond to sensory stimuli differently than kids with different disabilities and typically developing children.
The first sensory sensitive showing was Rise of the Guardians just before Christmas and was met with rave reviews from local families.
It was awesome. Only thing we've ever really wanted to do was to give these kids, a normal life, and there's so many of them that have problems that can't go to the regular movies. We've tried to go to the regular movies and her get upset, the lights are down, it's too loud, and it messes up everybody's show, not just ours. And when her OT actually told us about the showing about 2 weeks ago, and I planned on bringing them then. And it is just amazing to watch the wonder in their eyes at the big theater, the big movie.
Me as a parent, I've always been nervous about bringing my child to come see a movie because I'm always worried about what other people think and what they might say. And so today was a huge step, and I wasn't nervous at all.
I think the kids just enjoy being kids, but it's nice to see the kids, get to be kids instead of, always trying to keep them stifled and down and trying to keep them what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. You just let them watch the movie how they want to watch the movie.
Which educators say is important for autistic kids and their families.
By Warren giving them opportunities to go to these sensory sensitive viewings, it gives them practice. And what we hope is over time, they're able to go to all movies. It doesn't have to be, because the child will learn, I'm going to a movie theater, I'm going to sit in a chair, I'm going to eat popcorn, and I'm going to wait, and then the video is going to start and we get to watch it. And that's what we're really hoping for, because right now there's no opportunities in the community for families who have kids with autism to attend as a family a movie theater, and to see a show together. So what we're hoping is things like this, if he says he's going to try to do this on a regular basis, it'll provide that practice for them.
In fact, a regular basis is exactly what Mr. Warren has in mind.
I think we're planning to do it once a month on a Saturday, and it mainly depends on the appropriate show, and we're going to be working with the Board of Education on that to make sure that it's the right show, and I mean, I'm sure that we're going to find a show once a month to do that for the families. So it'd be kind of a special outing, special treat.
We are challenged every day with the education of this very special population of students, and anytime we have the opportunity to be involved in providing something extra for them, that's just, as Mr. Warren said, Christmas has come early. So we're very excited about this opportunity.
We were so excited and surprised, but excited and happy, and it's really good to feel like the community is embracing us, and we have this much acceptance in the community. It's a wonderful feeling.
Which in the end makes Warren Theater a world-class experience for those who like lots of sensory input, like 3D screens and THX speakers. And now also for those who prefer things a bit toned down, but every bit as enjoyable. For more about Warren Theater's sensory sensitive showings and to get upcoming showtimes, consult the following contact information.